Okay, we're about to travel back in time. We're talking 4,000 years to uncover the world's very first great work of literature. But hey, this isn't just some dusty old myth. It's a story that gets right to the heart of the most universal human fear of all, our own mortality. This is the Epic of Gilgamesh and his desperate, all-consuming quest to conquer death. And this is the raw cry that kicks the whole thing off. It's not some philosophical question. It's a gut-wrenching personal terror. These are the words of a powerful king, but they strip away all the royalty and leave just a man, face to face with the inevitable. This is the wound that launches one of the greatest journeys in all of literature. So, what on earth could possibly drive a king, a man who has everything, to just abandon his throne and run to the ends of the earth? Well, our story begins not with a battle or a crown, but with a loss so profound it shatters his entire world.
So let's meet our guy Gilgamesh, a king who seemingly has it all. But when his best friend, his soulmate, Enkidu, dies, his world just collapses. And he doesn't just mourn, he refuses to accept it. He literally watches over his friend's body for 6 days and 7 nights, just waiting, hoping for a sign of life. And then the final blow comes with this grotesque horror. A worm falls from Enkidu's nose. In that one moment, death becomes disgustingly, undeniably real.
Completely shattered by this reality, Gilgamesh dedicates himself to a brand new mission. He's heard the stories about Ziazudrad, the one human who was granted eternal life after surviving a massive flood. So this quest, it isn't about understanding death or learning to grieve. His goal is to beat it. He's going to cross the world to find the secret to living forever. So his journey takes him far, far from his kingdom. He wanders the wilderness, just a shadow of the king he once was, until he arrives at the very edge of the world. And here, he faces a challenge he totally did not expect. It's not a monster he has to slay, but a powerful and very challenging idea. He stumbles upon Siduri, who's basically a divine innkeeper at the world's end. And seeing this wild, desperate man show up at her door, she does what any sensible person would do. She locks it. She doesn't see a great king. She just sees a man who has been completely unraveled by his fear of dying. And right here, you see this amazing clash of worldviews. Gilgamesh is basically screaming for a way out, for something permanent, a way to escape death. But Siduri's response is just so blunt. You shall not find the life you seek. She's not offering him a path to immortality. She's offering him a path back to a meaningful, mortal life, telling him to embrace the very fleetingness that he's running from. I mean, her advice is just this powerful call to live in the present moment. She tells him to stop chasing some impossible future and just start living the life he actually has. Eat good food, celebrate, love your family. She's arguing that the whole point of life isn't found in avoiding death, but in living as fully and as joyfully as you can within the boundaries that it sets for us all. But does Gilgamesh listen? Of course not. He's way too obsessed. He pushes right past Siduri, determined to get the truth on his own terms. And this brings us to the climax of his quest, his meeting with the one man who might just have the answers he's looking for. With the help of a boatman, he does the impossible. He makes the journey across the waters of death, a place no living mortal is ever supposed to see. And on the other side, he finds him. Ziusudra, the immortal. This is it, the end of his journey, the moment of truth. But Ziusudra doesn't offer him some easy secret. Instead, he just paints a picture of how nothing, and I mean nothing, lasts forever. He says, look around you. Does a house we build last forever? A contract we sign? What about a river when it floods? Or a dragonfly in the sun? It's here for a moment, then gone. His point is crystal clear. Since the beginning of time, permanence has never been a thing. Why should you be any different? Then Ziusudra gives him a challenge. And it sounds so simple, it's almost an insult. He says, if you want to conquer death, first try conquering its little brother, sleep. The test is to stay awake for 6 days and 7 nights, the exact same amount of time Gilgamesh watched over Enkidu's body. And you know what? Gilgamesh fails, almost immediately. As soon as he sits down, sleep just washes over him. To prove it, Ziusudra's wife bakes a loaf of bread for every day that he sleeps. So when Gilgamesh finally wakes up, thinking only a moment has passed, Ziusudra shows him the evidence. The decaying loaves of bread are a physical timeline of his own mortal weakness. He couldn't even conquer sleep. So, his quest for immortality is a total failure. He's been proven unworthy, but the story isn't quite over. As a defeated Gilgamesh gets ready to leave, Ziusudra offers him one last tiny, fleeting glimmer of hope.
Okay, so it's not eternal life, but it's maybe the next best thing. Ziusudra tells him about a secret, magical plant at the bottom of the ocean. Its name basically means the old man becomes a young man. It can't stop death, but it can turn back the clock and make him young again.
This is it. This is his last chance. And Gilgamesh doesn't even hesitate. He ties stones to his feet, sinks into the abyss, and grabs that thorny plant. He goes through the pain, and he actually succeeds. He is holding a second chance at life in his hand. After all that failure, could this finally be the prize?
He is triumphant. On a long trip back home, he tells the boatman his whole plan. He's going to take it back to his city, Uruk, share it with the elders, and then he'll eat it and become young again. He's exhausted but hopeful. And then he spots a cool well and decides to take a quick bath.
And in that one single moment of carelessness, it's all lost. A snake, drawn by the plant's sweet smell, slithers out of the well, snatches the plant, and eats it. And then, right before his eyes, the serpent sheds its skin, instantly renewed. The very symbol of rejuvenation he was seeking is stolen from him. I mean, this is absolute rock bottom. He just sits down and weeps. All that struggle, all that pain, traveling to the ends of the earth. For what? Not for himself, not for his people, but for a snake. He says it himself, I have obtained no advantage for myself. He has gained nothing. So where does that leave him? Empty-handed, defeated, and heading home with nothing to show for it. But it's here, right back where his journey began, that he finally finds the true answer he was looking for all along.
He arrives back at the great gates of his city, Uruk. There's no magic plant, no secret to eternal life. He is simply a mortal king who has been to the end of the world and back, only to fail, completely.
And then everything changes. He turns to the boatman, Urshanabi, and he says this. For the first time, he's not looking inward at his own fear and his own loss. He's looking outward at the city he built, the city he rules. He's really seeing the great walls, the strong foundations, the work of human hands.
And this is the ultimate wisdom of the entire epic. He finally gets it. True immortality isn't about one person cheating death. It's about building something that endures for the entire community, a legacy that outlasts any single life. His immortality won't be his body. It will be the great walls of Uruk, protecting his people long, long after he is gone. And really, that's the question this 4,000-year-old story leaves with us. It's the wisdom that Sidori tried to share and Ziusudra confirmed. You're mortal. Your time is short. So the real question isn't how do you escape that fate, but what will you do with the time you have? What will be your walls of work?